Assalamu alaikum. In today's lesson, we will try to square root a complex number. There are shortcuts to do this job, but examiner would demand to show full details of the working. For example, find the square root of 3 plus 15i in exact Cartesian form. Cartesian means a way of representing geometric objects like points, lines, and planes using coordinates in a rectangular coordinate system. This system uses perpendicular axis, x-axis and y-axis, same as we do the coordinate geometry, x-axis and y-axis. Suppose we have a point here and its coordinates are 2, 3. So complex number would be written in the same way, but there would be a little difference. Instead of writing x-axis and y-axis, we will write the real axis and the imaginary axis. This thing we have discussed in our first part, complex number part 1. And suppose my point, like coordinates, I would write 2 plus 3i. So 2 is my real part and 3i is my imaginary part. So let's find the square root of 12 plus 16i. So I would start by writing 12 plus 16i square root, and I will equate it with the general form of the complex number. And remember, we have to write plus minus before that, x plus iy. Because of why I wrote plus minus with it, because suppose if I ask you to square root 16, the answer is not 4. The answer is plus minus 4. Now, square both sides. So 12 plus 16i square root equals plus minus x plus iy. So squaring both sides. The left side, the square of left side will cancel the square root. So you are going to write 12 plus 16i is equal to square of plus is plus, square of negative is plus. So I am going to square x plus iy only. And if you guys remember the identity a plus b whole square, you have to open this in the same way, like a square plus 2ab plus b square. So let me write it. This is x square plus my 2ab is here, my 2xyi plus iy squared. Let's simplify this. Now look, I'm going to write minus y squared because I squared is equal to -1, and that negative will work with positive sign and it will turn it into a negative sign. So I have to write minus y squared. Now in my next step, I will collect the real parts like x square minus y square and the imaginary part at one side. Now let me compare the real parts on either side. So 12 would be equals to x square minus y squared. We can write 16 equals 2xy. Make it equation number 1 and this equation number 2. From equation number 2 I can make either x a subject or either y a subject. So let me make x a subject. So it will become x equals 16 over 2y. So this gives me x equals 8 over y. So put this value of x, which is 8 over y, in equation number 1. So it becomes 12 equals 8 over y whole squared. In x squared, I have to write 8 over y whole squared minus y squared. 12 equals 64 over y squared minus y squared. So it becomes 12y squared equals 64 minus y power 4. I took y squared as the LCM. So from here I can say I would let y squared equals, I name it any alphabet. Like suppose if I say y squared equals p. So what I'm going to write here now, 12p equals 64 minus p squared. Now bring minus p squared on the left side, so it becomes positive p squared plus 12p minus 64 equals 0. Now it purely becomes a quadratic equation. Now midterm breaking, I'm going to factorize it. So 64 times 1 equals 64. This coefficient of p square is 1, so my constant term 64 would multiply with the coefficient of p square, which is 1 here. So now I have to make factors of 64 such that those factors after adding or subtracting should give me plus 12, which is in the middle. So if we are good in tables, I can say that 16 times 4 is 64 and 16 minus 4 gives me positive 12, which is in the middle of the quadratic equation. So I will use 16 and negative 4 in place of 12p. So I am going to write p squared plus 16p minus 4p minus 64 equals 0. Now from the first two expressions, take p as common, so p plus 16. From the last two expressions, minus 4 common, so p minus into minus is plus. 4 16 times is 64, and this is equal to 0. Make bracket of this p minus 4 and pick one out of the same bracket, p plus 16. Just pick one out of these two. Now both equate to 0. So p minus 4 equals 0. So p equals 4 and other p equals negative 16. Now replace p by y squared. So I can write y squared equals 4. Here y squared equals negative 16. So if you remove the square of y from here, so negative 16 will be square root, and which is not applicable. It again becomes a complex number. So come to this part. So y equals square root of 4, which is y equals plus minus 2. Now one by one we can find the value of x. As our x was 8 over y, so when I use, you can write, when y is equal to 2, x is equal to 8 over 2. So my x is 4. And when y equals negative 2, so x is equal to 8 over negative 2. So my x is equal to, from this first part, when my y was 2, my x was 4. So I can write 4 plus 2i. And from my second part, when my x was negative 2, my x was negative 4. I can write negative 4, negative 2i. So we can write in the combined way like plus minus 4 plus 2i. And this is in the Cartesian form.